Making a good impression on a new connection is a skill I admire. I wish I had all the hacks to make this happen. I look at individuals who seem to have a way to unlock the smiles and attention of their new connections and wonder in awe about how they could be so charismatic. But why do we have to make an excellent and long-lasting first impression? Do you think it's necessary? I believe it is crucial. We meet people daily in our everyday lives, whether at work, school, or any other gathering. We are social beings and humans form a big part of who we are. I would be surprised if you said you are all by yourself and never interact with anyone. I used to think it was challenging to impress a new connection until I recently met someone new. They did something I would never forget. Here's what happened. They impressed me in a different way. I met a new work colleague. We introduced each other by name at the peak hour of the day and quickly went about our daily routine. I couldn't remember where the meeting happened until I started writing this post. About a week later, I met this fellow at work again, and they impressed me by doing just one thing. They remembered my name, actually, my full name. I was surprised for a minute, not only because they recalled my full name, but they did with ease. As you would expect, I tried to return the favor by spilling out theirs, but no, my brain hung up. It was the last thing I wanted. I couldn't recall the first letter, let alone the first name. Immediately, I remembered I wasn't paying full attention the first time we met. After we moved on from that spot, I asked my colleagues for the fellow's name. I felt too embarrassed to ask during the chat. Thankfully, I got the name. This time, I tried very hard not to forget, so, the next time we met, we exchanged greetings and I addressed them using their first name. It felt truly special, and the conversation lasted a fair bit. I felt different this time. I felt connected. They were also impressed. You would impress just anyone by this simple act. I did not stop there. I decided to try to remember my new trick on anyone I meet going forward. I didn't have to wait too long, as I met a new colleague a few weeks later. My turn to give back. I met a new colleague while hanging out in the public domain at work. I paid close attention. I asked for their name, we exchanged pleasantries, and we both went our ways. The following week I visited the same spot and met the same fellow. Immediately, I recalled the name. I called out, "Hello, John Doe." He marveled, "Oh, you remember my name?" I smiled and answered, "Yes, of course." He felt special. I could see it in his glimpse and genuine smile. He had forgotten my name and had to apologize to be reminded. Of course, I told him again. I am sure he'd try to remember next time. It may not look like I did anything different, but I paid more attention when meeting this new person. I wanted to remember the name. I didn't want to fall into the usual trap of not remembering the most basic attribute about anyone I met. But why all these dramas? Names are special. Our names bring out the uniqueness in us. It's interesting how many people ignore remembering these details when meeting someone new. Remembering a person's name can instantly help strike a conversation and make the person feel appreciated. I imagine there will be a psychological explanation for this effect. Our name is our identity. It represents us. We want others to know who we are by our names. We feel special when our names are used to identify us. We feel appreciated and connected when addressed by names. Make an effort to remember a name. We can make encounters truly count by trying to remember the name of our new connection. Pay close attention and ensure you capture and remember this detail. Here are a few tricks to help make remembering names easier. 1. Repeat the person's name back to them when introduced. 2. Associate the person's name with something memorable. 3. If possible, write down the person's name soon after meeting them. 4. Try to use the person's name in conversations as often as possible. 5. Picture the person's face when repeating their name. 6. If you forget, ask again. Closing thoughts. In today's world, it seems we are all so busy that we can't be bothered to remember the names of people we just met. We quickly say hello and move on to other activities. We can be more intentional when meeting someone new. Make an effort to remember their name. It's okay if you don't always remember these details, but the chances are that your recall rate will improve, and you will get better over time. Taking the time to remember someone's name can make a big difference in your relationship with them. So next time you meet someone new, make an effort to remember their name, you'll be glad you did.